and that's and basically as soon as the dance happens, you know everything is stay where it is.
So should we move all this stuff? Like give them the whole area? Because we could just move all of that. Would be like a good thing to do.
Come in here. So yes, if this one and this one are all off.
Hey, Paul, can you just have everything muted if it's not already?
Yeah. And then when they come back on, you just put the one speaking mic. Sure. And then all the musicians, everything else will stay the same.
Yeah, let's put this there. All good. You can sit where? Yeah, one in the front would be like, yeah, I got her.
15 years now. It's crazy.
Hey.
Sorry. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm as good as I could be. I think that's the way to say it.
Yeah.
Like in a fucking mess, in other words.
Yeah.
But I deliberately isolated myself for the last half hour because
It's good.
Yeah.
It's what's needed.
So how's it looking?
It all seems to be working so far.
Okay. Here.
People are involved. Last part. Oh, yeah. So if I can like 50s, I can't have it.
Hey.
So I'm going to
You all
Bali
set?
in 2 weeks to do like a big like audio-visual album production thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not yet live, but it's soon to be live.
So that's why I've been learning about video because I'm having to, for the first time, manage all the video with like a 4-cam multi-cam capture thing, 4K. Have you used the GH5 camera before?
I have.
I've heard that those are pretty flexible. I just got 2 of them on eBay, but haven't started using them yet.
I have gone down the Nikon road.
Oh yeah, nice.
I finally, like,
For video.
8K raw video
Yeah.
and giant stills.
Jeez,
So I'm now,
can't manage
I'm now
an
one camera.
8K raw would be like what, like 8 gigs per minute or something?
I never. I only ever shoot that for animation.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. It's like, how do you manage that data? Yeah.
It's like a terabyte an hour or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, where I'm at now is like, I've done like color grading with LUTs and stuff like that before, but not on footage that I shot. Like footage that film crew that I hired shot, and then they're like, oh, here's the line.
Testing. But that's a little
I
loud.
don't feel like I can't like.
That's too loud.
I'm not comfortable getting exposure right for
Test 1, 2,
to
3.
then apply, like in like
Right.
S-Log
Okay.
or V-Log or whatever. It always looks bad when I try.
You just have to
Hey, Mark.
shoot.
Mark, is this a good volume?
To get good at it.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. So I'm just using like the built color profiles and stuff like that.
For most things anymore, it's
Yeah, that was my impression.
gone from like those used to just always be terrible to like, oh well, I can't really do any better.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm capturing the 2 Sonys, the ZV-10, or sorry, ZV-10, those cameras, and then 2 GH5s. So what I've been trying to learn about is just making sure I can match the colors from like the different Panasonic versus Sony. Color profiles.
It's a meaningful challenge.
thing to look into. Yeah,
Right.
that's what it seemed like.
You know, as long as you shoot a color test chart,
Yeah.
like at the beginning and end of your shot on all of them.
Oh, just like have because I have like a clapper board that has the colors.
Yeah,
So just shoot
just
that.
make sure you've got the same thing in exactly the same illumination.
Yeah. Smart. Well, I'm doing a bunch of tests ahead of time. The Panasonic has this sort of like 709 color profile, which is what like some of the Sony profiles use that like 709. So I'm hoping that
Oh man,
match up well.
yeah, it's been fun. Just give us a hit. Okay. You're sitting up here. You get the good seats.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, man.
See
We'll
ya.
have to talk afterwards. Yeah. You may have to scrape me off the floor.
Yeah. Okay. I brought a spatula.
Yep. Oh, hi, Wayne.
Are you still teaching now at Santa Cruz?
Just one day a week. It's pretty
Cool.
nice. Yeah. That's sort of my ad infinitum thing now.
That's great.
As long as I feel like I want to keep renewing it, I guess.
Right.
I'm gonna clear this area just
Yeah.
since I'm on the sound team.
Yes.
But I'd love to catch up.
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah. So you coming over the park there? Yeah, cool.
Oh, there's a schedule on it.
My wife is sitting right there.
Oh, is she?
Mostly to project the tripod.
Okay.
Oh, my wife was sitting here to project the tripod. But kind of.
It's only
broadcast and we can't bring them back. Sometimes you would see people over, like, you know, throwing out a picnic blanket,
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? In the back? Yeah, I see a lot of yeses. Thank you. I know almost, but not quite everyone here. So for those of you I've never met, my name's Wayne. I'm Sarah's husband. My singular message to you now at the beginning of the celebration of Sarah's life is gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you for being present at this beautiful Redwood Grove or witnessing our gathering remotely. Thank you for all the love and friendship you shared with Sarah over her lifetime and continue to share now. Many of you drove or flew here from distant places. Some of you came despite significant practical or physical challenges. Members from both sides of our family are here. You'll hear them offer spoken reflections about Sarah and play the music that she requested for this memorial. Other family members and close friends are watching from afar via the live stream video. They include Patience Willner, Sarah's wonderful mom, who's witnessing this celebration from her new home in Maine. I offer special gratitude to the entire team of musicians, including 2 full ensembles from Gamelan Skarjaya, dancers from that group, speakers, organizers, audio and visual video artists, shuttle drivers, greeters, and others, the team that has made this gathering possible. Most of you volunteered on your own initiative and include people of unbelievable skills, educators who are dedicated, like Sarah was, to lifelong community service, and artists of equal community dedication and international renown. My feeling is, it's as if I called out into a crowd, hey, who can play music at a celebration of Sarah's life? And the entire London Symphony raised their hands, along with their support staff. I'm really at a loss for words beyond that to thank you enough. I think it's an indicator of the imprint that Sarah made in the world, the sweet traces of compassion, love, and selflessness that she left resonating among us. In a few minutes, 2 of the wisest and most compassionate of our friends, Rose Nisker and Patty Sandino, will guide us through the program as our MCs. They're the ones who took the lead in organizing this event over many weeks of planning. But first, in accord with Sarah's wishes, we're going to share a few minutes of silence.
Thank you to our beautiful Gamelan Sekar Jaya dancers and musicians. I'll just pull this out. Okay, much better. As Wayne mentioned, Gamelan Sekar Jaya was so important for Sarah. She was really, I would say, the heart and soul of Gamelan Sekar Jaya for over 30 years. And you may have noticed the dancers had bay leaves, which have a special significance to Sarah and her family. And yes, my name is Rose, as Wayne mentioned, and we have a wonderful program ahead with lots of reflections and musical offerings to celebrate and honor our beloved Sarah. So I hope you can feel yourself held here by these magnificent redwoods, by the beauty of the natural world that was meant so much to Sarah. And also just, I'm already feeling just the potency of our collective love here for her. So I hope we can all feel held by that. We'll get to hear, as Wayne mentioned, from folks from all different parts of Sarah's life and really get to kind of soak in the awe, really, of knowing her as a teacher, a mentor, an artist, a parent, a friend, and really the glue, I think, that held together a lot of our different communities here, represented here today. I met Sarah when I was just a kid, also through Gamelan Sekar Jaya, and she quickly became a very special kind of big sister auntie to me. Growing up, I admired her so much. You know, here was this badass, musically badass organizer, teacher, and I just have so many vivid memories in my mind of, you know, being in these big productions with Gamelan Sekar Jaya, and, you know, an hour before the show, there's some big disaster, and Sarah's crawling up in the rafters of some venue in full costume, fixing everything, coming back down, getting on stage, playing beautifully in 4 ensembles, not breaking a sweat. So, and what was especially meaningful for me was, you know, here's this rock star, but she always took the time to check in with genuine interest, and even as a teen, I felt really seen by her, which I think is unusual, you know, rare as a teen to feel that way, but that was Sarah. She was such an amazing cheerleader, lifted me up, as I know she has done for so many of us here and beyond. And she continued to do that. I can't help but remember the last time she and I were here in this grove was on my wedding day to Patty, and Sarah was right there playing Gendare. You know, and I was a little nervous and shaky, and I just remember looking back at her and seeing that kind of beatific smile she would get on her face when she played, and we made eye contact, and she gave me this kind of what I think of as like a quintessential Sarah nod, like, yeah, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be great. And it was also like this reminder that she would bring of just like, and enjoy it. Remember to enjoy it, just being in the flow of togetherness and music. So it's so special and tender to be here all together. And we'll have, you know, we hope the flow will flow and there might be some little bumps, so please bear with us. But for now, I'm just going to turn it over to Jenny, one of Sarah's sisters. Thank you all for being here. Oh, yeah, great.
I'm Jenny, Sarah's older sister, and I've taken a no-cry thing from my niece Phoebe, so I'm hopefully going to get through this. I am really grateful to be here in this glorious setting amongst the people where Sarah made her life. Love to my family who is watching, our mother, Patience, and sister Anna in Maine and their family, and my sister Becky in London. I wish you were here. So Sarah was like the really awesome sister. She was really a good sister. You can't say that about many family members, you know? She was really a good sister. My freshman year in high school, Sarah was in 8th grade. We were coerced, that is, we accompanied our father on a climb of Broken Top in Central Oregon. One of us had to spend the night in a tent with our dad. He was a legendary snorer. So I suggested we draw straws, and I drew the short one. But Sarah offered to do the duty and take my place in the tent with my dad, and that's the kind of sister she was, making sure other people were happy. And yet it didn't matter that night, since you could hear Dad snore from the trailhead 5 miles away. She must have known. When Sarah had her emergency craniotomy, we all flew in immediately and saw her the morning after surgery. Sarah was alert and chatty like nothing had happened. And she told us that her memory might be affected by the tumors they removed. So I piped up and said, "Oh, you've had memory loss, eh? So you do remember that I was a really awesome sister when we were growing up, right?" Sarah replied, "No, Jenny, you weren't." I said in reply, "Long-term memory intact, apparently." And then she said, "Don't make me laugh, Jenny. You'll make my head hurt." I loved making my sister laugh. I know you all can hear her explosive, infectious, till tears were in her eyes laugh in your minds. Now, I'd like to read a letter that my mother, Patience, wrote that she would like me to read. It was timed at about 12 minutes, and our sister Anna edited it. Thank you, Anna. August 4th, 2025, Berkeley, California. Hello, dear daughter Sarah. Sad as I was on June 11th, the day you left this world, I have been consoling myself by bringing back memories of you. I frequently use them as reference notes when talking with other people about you and your amazing life, which she did even when Sarah was alive as well. At almost 63 years old, you made better use of your busy life than anyone I can think of. Though it took 23 hours of labor for you to arrive, you made up for that in personality, creativity, humor, accomplishments, and modesty about all these talents. As a wife, mom, and chef, high grades indeed, As a sports person, well, how about your lettering for 4 years of tennis and girls soccer? Being on the board of the literary magazine Viridian at Wilson High School in Portland, loads of hiking, camping, canoeing, running along beaches, and being an excellent downhill skier in a family of skiers. I am not. As a friend, a loyal and ever amusing companion, and sympathetic helper. And as a musician, you summed it up ahead of your time. At age 7, you announced, "Mom, I want to learn to play all the instruments." Because we had to pick one, and Sarah didn't want to pick just one. And by golly, it was so. Violin, viola, high school marching band while playing French horn. Mom writes, huh? Piano, Japanese koto, and almost all the, to us at the time, unfamiliar instruments in Indonesian gamelan. The road to musicianship was long, from childhood hours of practicing violin, which didn't really go well with all of her sisters. It was screechy. And viola, through being the director of a 5th grade production of Fiddler on the Roof, to summer courses like Lewis and Clark College's summer sessions on chamber music, and Kneisel Hall in Blue Hill, Maine, thank you, Phoebe, which led you to say, "Mom, now I can see why we play music." You also studied with famous Irish folk fiddler Kevin Burke. There were 2 years of studying musicology at Cornish Institute in Seattle, then to Mills College, where you studied for 6 months with a noted Indian musician. This is our mother, noted Indian musician. You then transferred to major in music at UC Berkeley, where you graduated in 1988. Then came private teaching, but mainly what became your primary job. Honestly, this letter was edited. Teaching music in the Oakland public school system, kindergarten to 8th grade. This included a lot of music from Central and South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia, while also serving in numerous ways in administration in the Oakland school system, the teachers union, and other groups. This included serving as president of the Northern California Carl Orff Society, who knew, and leadership positions in other musical and artistic fields. I learned a lot about Sarah reading this letter. Who knows what more was on your mind, Sarah, as you continue to assist many other people in the artistic and creative fields. Our world lost a source of brilliant knowledge. And we lost you so recently, Sarah Newland Willner Vitale. Daughter, sister, wife, mother, teacher, friend, and inspiration to all of us. With the warmest love and admiration, your mother, Patience Woman Durant Willner. Thank you.
Afternoon. If you don't know me, I'm Wayne's brother Lee, and Sarah was obviously my sister-in-law. Sarah was my sister-in-law.
One second. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's the speaker.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sarah was a sister-in-law to me, my wife Elaine, friend, an aunt to my children, my son-in-law, and a great aunt to my grandchild Lily. I want to start out by reading some words sent over from my children, Christine and Eric. Sarah was a truly special person who touched the lives of everyone around her with warmth, kindness, and an unshakable sense of positivity. Her caring spirit and generous heart are qualities we should all strive to carry forward in our lives. Auntie Sarah was an adventurer. We had great times together. She was fearless too. On a trip together in Oregon, She went straight into the coldest water imaginable. I'm in this water, trembling and miserable, and then looking over at Sarah, noticed she was just in complete peace. She lived life to the fullest. She had a huge heart and was always there to cheer anyone up who needed it. She was an amazing person. I think of the time we spent making music, her showing me how to hold a violin bow, or us singing with her during a long road trip. They become lifelong memories. Today we remember her not only in grief but in gratitude for the love she gave and the example she set. We are all better for having known her. She is so missed. Adding to that, Sarah was incredibly kind, caring, and giving, and never wavered from it. She always thought of everyone else first. On Jenny's note, we all remember her sweet smile, and I especially remember the cute way when she called and said, "Hey, Lee, Sarah." We have wonderful memories of Christmas gatherings and family trips. Here are a few. On one particular Christmas, probably 20, 25 years ago, Wayne and Sarah came to Rhode Island to enjoy our large Italian family gathering and annual Christmas talent show. Sarah helped my mom and aunts cook enough food for 80, which was appropriate for about the 35 that were showing up. Sarah and Wayne cheered us up with playing music together. That year, though, before family arrived, Sarah and I wrote a song together as she was inspired by the huge volumes of food. We used the classic, the 12 Days of Christmas tune, but replaced the words with more representative of our hungry, over-the-top family. We created the song entitled The 12 Days of Eating. It was a big hit, climbed the Rhode Island Billboard charts. And thanks to Sarah, it became a classic Christmas annual song, sung by all of us almost every year. On a separate occasion, this was a summer, again in Rhode Island at my mom's house. Sarah and Wayne came in to visit. Now, whenever we were at my mom's house, inevitably there was tons of repair work needed. So we started working. Wayne and Sarah were handling exterior repairs while I worked inside. My mom, of course, started cooking and eventually said, "Have you seen Sarah lately?" My wife and I went looking. We went out the front door, looked around, and then heard something, looked up, and on our steep roof, there was Sarah with a hammer in her hand and working near the window. My wife and I, we just looked down, we walked inside, we said, "Mom, Sarah is on the roof doing repairs." Now my mom, who is, many of you don't know, but she's terrified of heights, just absolutely terrified of heights, and foreign to the concept of like Sarah being on the roof, or any female being on the roof. She said, "What? Oh my God, what is she doing way up there?" And then she said, "Please, go get her down off that roof and tell her lunch is ready." Sarah planned one memorable trip. It was an amazing West Coast family RV trip with cousins, which included Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, and the San Juan Islands. Sarah, as usual, called me up and said, "Hey, Lee, it's Sarah. How does the itinerary sound?" I said, "Sarah, it's amazing." And so the trip ended up, we had this incredible 12 days together, traveling around. It was a real memorable trip for my family. Finally, on a get-together at the incredible Mount Washington Hotel in the mountains of New Hampshire one summer, they had these beautiful tennis courts on the grounds. And I asked Wayne, "Hey, how about playing some tennis?" Wayne said to me, "You should just play Sarah. She's much better than me." after Sarah smoked me in tennis, I thought I really should have asked Wayne to be on my team against Sarah, which would have made it much more even. In closing, I want to say Sarah touched so many hearts. You see, even if you met Sarah just one time, she enriched your life in some way. I'm sure Sarah is shining a bright light on all of us and helping us to somewhat heal. We were so lucky to have known Sarah, and we'll never forget. While today is hard to smile, when I think of Sarah in the future, I'll have many smiles.
Hello? Do I need to come up here because people are going to set up behind me? Okay. Okay, I'll just do this. Ah. How's that? I'm going to read this. I don't have to read this part. My name is Janet Catoulis. My husband Peter and I have been lucky enough for 25 years to live next door to Sarah. In El Sobrani. In fact, it was because of Sarah that we found our house and were able to buy it for a pretty great price because it went, before it went on the market. And Sarah did this for us back before she even knew us. And it was part of her effort to bring musicians to the neighborhood. And also because Sarah, as you know, was the kind of person who would do good things for people that she didn't even know. So Sarah was a big source of energy next door, and so it was kind of a little bit like living next to the sun, next door to the sun. And sometimes after a really long, hard day of work, Peter and I would be at home, and we'd decide that we just wanted to veg out on the couches and watch TV. And we were nervous that Sarah would come over and catch us in the act of doing that. So we closed the curtains. And it was a for sure thing. Every time we lay down on the couch to watch TV at night, Sarah would come over. And we'd hear the tap on the door. And I know that she would have like a 10 times longer and harder day. But she would be, all set to go driving into San Francisco to a film festival and watch documentaries or something. And we would say no. And it was always really fun when Sarah would relax and sit down with us in our house and visit or watch TV with us, which maybe happened, the watch TV part once or twice. So I was a really lucky person who got to live next door to a best friend, which doesn't happen very often when you're not a kid, actually. And we'd meet out in the front yard, and we'd find out from each other if our outfits worked. And we'd raid each other's closets for clothes, and we'd share books, and we'd walk up the hill together most mornings for a long time. And Sarah would always run up the last really steep part because she had to. And we brought food back and forth between households, Sarah being the generous one who wanted us to try anything that she'd made that was tasty. And when Nia was a baby, we'd walk up into the hills together, taking turns wearing the baby backpack. And we'd climb over fences with the baby backpack on, because that's what you would do if you were with Sarah. And we'd worry together about whether the blanket was suffocating the sleeping Nia in the baby backpack. And we dropped her accidentally on the bricks one time. And we spent the evening together in the emergency room, worrying together. She's okay. But we'd go up into the hills together a lot of the times, and we'd watch the grasses waving in the wind. And Sarah would always say, "Oh, Janet, it's so beautiful," because Sarah used the word O-H, a lot, and said, "Oh, this is so beautiful." And she coined a word for the grass waving in the wind, and that word is the word is grassulation. And with Peter and other neighbors, some who are here, we spent 25 years working hard together to protect the hills in El Sobrante from development. And Sarah and I got to know our neighborhood really well by spreading flyers. We were a good flyer spreading team. And going to city council meetings, meeting with other city officials, and we manned the booths at the El Sobrante Stroll together. And Sarah rented a stage once and procured porta potties so we could raise money for the cause with a benefit concert. And we eventually all wrote an initiative together and have so far successfully prevented development from happening in those hills. The main thing about Sarah as a best friend was that she literally remembered everything, or actually she cared to remember everything that you'd ever mentioned to her at all in the whole wide world that you ever said to her. She'd remember it. And so she knew all about my parents and my sisters and Peter's family and all the nieces and nephews, and she knew their dogs' names and their dogs' personalities, and she knew all the people I worked with at UC Berkeley by name, even though she'd never met them. And she could literally quote my grandmothers, even though they had both died well before I met Sarah. Because she really jumped into your life and she shared it with you in a way that nobody else does. And she was always there for everyone. And in the last weeks of her life, I was literally afraid to make soup and bring it next door because even when it wasn't easy for her to do so, the next night she would make soup and bring it over to our house and always act bright and chipper doing so. So while there are a zillion heroic Sarah stories to tell, like exactly how 2 days after her major brain surgery, I went next door. This was exactly 2 days, I believe, after her surgery. I went next door to find out when she was going to be coming home from the hospital. And she answered the door boisterously and laughingly and showed off her beautiful headband of sparkly head staples. And if no one had prevented her, she probably would have performed cartwheels on the lawn because I pretty much believe that she could have done that. So while Sarah is the hero of many stories of bravery and courage and high adventure, and really she was the superwoman of the neighborhood. She was the most thoughtful friend a person could ever be lucky enough to have living next door. And I feel fortunate to have been a kind of sidekick for a while and shared in all the adventures that she made for all of us. After we moved into the neighborhood, Sarah and I always planned, like right from the beginning, that we would get 2 tin cans and tie them with a string, and we would talk to each other over the fence. And we never actually did that, but it felt like we did do that. And I feel like we were the kind of tin can telephone friends all these 25 years. And I can still really clearly hear her voice in my ear. So I know she's out there on the other end of the string somewhere. And that's really comforting. Okay, nobody set up behind me.
So we can start setting up a few introductions.
Yeah. We're going to sing a song now. Me and Nia, and Linda Green, and Colin Hogan, neighbor. Maybe they're setting up behind me. I don't know.
They are.
Okay, good. This is a song by Rhiannon Giddens, and Sarah listened to this song frequently in her last days, and it was very comforting to her. And yeah, I'm happy to be able to sing it with Nia. And here we go. Can we go like this? Can we hold these so we can look at each other? Yeah, then we can look at each other. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me home. My time has come to sail away. I know you'd love for me to stay, but I miss my friends of yesterday. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me I know you'll remember me when I'm gone. Remember my stories, remember my songs. I'll leave them on earth, sweet traces of gold. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me So friends gather round and bid me goodbye. My body's bound, but my soul will fly. My little light's shining from the sky. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me home. My time has come to sail away. I know you'd love for me to stay, but I miss my friends of yesterday. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me Thank you. Is this the butterfly song now? So, Linda Green, who knows Sarah from Oakland School District things, and I'm really happy now that I know Linda Green from Sarah. She's gonna perform with Sarah's niece, Phoebe, on harp, who's out here from Maine, and they're gonna sing they're, pardon me. Oh, they're going to play. Neither of them are going to sing, actually. They're going to play a butterfly fiddle song. That's a, what did you call it? A fiddle slip jig song. And this is the song that Sarah played with Kevin Burke, the famous Irish fiddle player. When she was in high school, she played this with him.
And just one more thing, Phoebe, you had said you had played this with Sarah. Did you say that this was the only?
I think it was the only piece I ever played with Sarah.
Thank you so much. Just a little note, we are running a little behind, but that is kind of as to be expected. Sarah was boundless, boundless, truly. San is up there with a 1-minute sign for those of you offering reflections, so please do keep your eye out for those to come with reflections. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Conrad, and I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to speak today. I'd like to share a few memories I have of Sarah from our youth. She has had a profound influence on me. I first met Sarah when we were students at Wilson High School, a large public school in Portland, Oregon. She was a sophomore and I was a freshman. I remember running into her in the hallway one afternoon. Her smile, her query, a suggestion of another world than the dreary one in which we found ourselves. We played on the school soccer team together. I remember finding her lying on the field before practice one day, looking up at the sky. I remember her teaching me how to drive her family's Peugeot station wagon when my father wouldn't yet. Sarah would pick me up and with a look, slide the car keys across the roof of the car to me. I got my driver's license in that car. Hey, close your ears, Sarah's mom. I remember one night driving the Peugeot up to Council Crest, a lookout point over the city, with Sarah riding on top of the car, holding onto the luggage rack with one hand, a jug of wine in the other. I remember driving with her and a few friends to San Francisco in a Volkswagen van to see the Grateful Dead sleeping in Golden Gate Park. It was the late 70s. I remember joining the high school's fledgling wilderness club, hiking with her in the Columbia Gorge and around Mount Hood. I remember when she gave me a copy of Shunryo Suzuki's Zen Mind Beginner's Mind, which I carried everywhere with me. It included this passage, whose sentiment has always stuck with me. To give your sheep or cow a large, spacious meadow is the way to control them. I remember when we climbed the steel bridge together, multiple times, standing next to its still black wheel, gazing at the city lights and Willamette River laid out below us. One night we stood near the base of the bridge on a concrete platform on the river. She invited me to jump in. That time I did not take her up on her offer, but she did. She jumped into the river. We were wild, at times moody, at times ecstatic, forever hanging out in the rain, wandering the city, picking mushrooms from the edge of her yard near grazing sheep. I remember when we climbed a nearby water tower and sat atop its curved tank and looked out over the neighborhood exultant. I remember sneaking into Portland's Japanese garden with her one night, climbing its wall and wandering under the cherry trees, through the carefully manicured plants, and around the rock gardens in the moonlight. I remember when she skipped school one day with Kyle, another dear friend, to hop a train. I remember once she instructed me to go downtown to the Greyhound bus station, thence to find a key hidden in a card, and with it to open a certain locker. Within it, I found a conga drum, which I still have. Sarah opened up many worlds, places I'd only hope might be there, beyond our suburban confines. We found edges to explore, meander along, urban, outdoors, as well as interior ones. In addition to being daring, our adventures showed us new perspectives, a way of being that has remained an essential part of my own life and work. Sarah was generous of spirit, of presence, and she engaged with everything around her on her own terms. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Phil Reddy, and I have the incredible honor to share about Sarah. And Sarah and I worked together for 20 plus years in the Oakland School District, and I'm so grateful for every one of those years. During that time, we actually ended up sharing an office for about 15. So I've had day in and day out the opportunity to get to know Sarah, and some of the stories, I've heard them all many times. And she had an amazing full life. As we got a chance to work together as colleagues, we got closer together as colleagues and also as friends. So as I reflected on our time together, I thought about a lot of different ways I could talk about her amazing accomplishments, and there were so many. The work she was really proud of, and the countless ways she impacted students and teachers in our school district. But there's really too many to tell, and you've heard many of them already. So instead, I want to talk about her leadership today, particularly with Oakland's elementary music teachers, the job she had later in her career as she supported many of them. A mentor of mine once told me, the work of leadership is about other people. And the longer I've been in my role, the more profound the statement becomes. I had to work hard to hold on to that value. And for Sarah, it came naturally. She was a natural leader, and natural about making her life about other people. This is who she was. She was kind, warm, caring, thoughtful, and all the different interactions that she had with other people. So on any given day, Sarah could be found, planning meetings and professional development and ways to support teachers. She could be coaching new teachers. She might be building partnerships with arts organizations and bringing resources into our school district. Sometimes, She would even drive a truck. She would borrow these giant trucks from the district office and drive them out to schools to pick stuff up or deliver stuff. And I remember one time we were going together, and we're trying to decide who to drive. And she reminded me, you know, I when I was, whatever, 14 years old or something, like young teenager, I used to drive farm equipment around the fields in Oregon. So I'm like, okay, you drive the truck. And she was actually really amazing at it. But sometimes you see her in the warehouse pushing these little forklifts we have around, moving pallets of instruments, and you know she's pushing these things. I don't exactly know how she did it. She's incredibly strong. But she made sure that teachers had what they needed and got delivered to the places exactly where they needed when they needed it. And that was just kind of who she was. You know, she would also, I remember many situations where she would put herself in a difficult situation. Say we have a teacher that's having a hard time with their school, and she just kind of put herself right in the middle of it and then try to help them work it out. So that, well, she would basically do whatever it took, do whatever it would take to advance the cause of arts learning in our school district. So on a personal note, I miss Sarah deeply. She was an amazing leader, but more importantly, she was an amazing person. You know, some people show up in your life at exactly the right time and in the right place. I'm not exactly sure how it works, if it's some spiritual connection or wonderful synchronicity. But Sarah came into my life at just the right time. You know, she shaped who I am today, how I think about education, how I care about others. My new office mates are fantastic. They're amazing people, and I truly appreciate who they are as leaders and people. But nonetheless, the office is a little bit quiet these days. And you know, it's not the same without Sarah's presence. You know, her passion for young people, the arts, social justice, change will be missed. But I take a lot of solace in the fact that these qualities, values, and intentions will live on in the people that she touched. So I hope you leave here today with a sense of gratitude, a sense of purpose, a sense of warmth and kindness towards others. That's how Sarah would have wanted it. Thank you.
You know, Sarah talked about that climbing the bridge over the Willamette River and hopping that train, and I thought she was making it up. So it's actually really good to have that confirmed. And I'm not surprised that she would do those things. Mia and I and Phoebe are going to sing and play a song during the pandemic part of the pandemic, when everybody was afraid of everybody else. And even though we lived next door to these guys and we're so close to them, we weren't seeing a lot of other, we weren't going into each other's houses and such. We were meeting out on the lawn and so forth. And for some reason, I don't exactly know how it started, but Sarah was always very proud of Phoebe and having this other professional musician in the family. And Phoebe had learned this beautiful chaconne in Geneva when she was studying there. And Sarah was so tickled pink by the song, and she sent me a video of Phoebe playing it, and she was excited. And for some reason, it seemed to me like it would be a song that would go really well with this random Lithuanian song that I happen to know. And so we got, during the pandemic, part of the pandemic, when we weren't getting together, we went out in the front yard, and Peter, my husband, played guitar because Phoebe wasn't there. And Nia, I think I actually stood behind a fence, and Nia was in front of the fence, and Sarah was over there playing viola, and Wayne was over there filming the whole thing. So we never got within 6 feet or whatever it was, and we sang this random Lithuanian song without the chaconne, I guess then. But
Sarah played the chaconne.
Sarah played the chaconne on her viola. That's right. That's right. So we're gonna give it a whirl here. There's a refrain, and we're gonna sing it about 8 times. So there's so many musicians here. Please just jump in. There's no Lithuanian hard words involved in the refrain. Oh, we got to get away from the speakers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
It's hard to even know how to begin to talk about my amazing mother. There are so many memories I have with her. Beautiful, funny, quiet, powerful moments. That if I tried to share them all, we'd be here for days. Sorry. These are memories I will carry with me for the rest of my life, and I will pass down. We're all here today because my mom, Sarah, touched our hearts in different ways. To some, she was a teacher, a friend, a sister, and so on. But she was my mom, and she will always be my mama. She was my safe space, the best mom I could ask for. People ask about my favorite memories with her, and I think of the trips we took, the silly adventures, and the trouble we got into. But what I miss the most are the quiet moments, cuddling in bed, watching our shows, and reading our books together, the ordinary days when everything felt normal and safe. Even after her diagnosis, we had stretches where things felt okay, and we laughed, we lived, and I let myself believe we had more time, and I'll always treasure those pockets of peace. Her strength still baffles me. She's the strongest woman I've ever known. Even as her body weakened, her spirit stayed bright. She found ways to laugh, to find beauty, and to stay soft, even in pain. She taught me that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's smiling when it would be easier to cry and be bitter at the world and the people around you. That kind of strength stays with you. When she held me, I felt protected, and there's nothing like a hug from your mama. And now that absence is something I will feel every day. Through her entire illness, my mom never once complained to me. She held her head high, not out of denial, but out of grace. She accepted her reality and chose to live through the pain, and still showing up, still smiling, still loving, and that's who she was, selfless to the very end. Even when she was suffering, she cared more about how others felt. She was gentle, thoughtful, and kind, and she always thought of my feelings before her own. That was my mom. Losing her is the hardest thing I've ever faced, and I'm still trying to process it, but I hope her passing makes us reflect, to carry forward her selflessness, her joy, her sense of wonder, whether it was walking barefoot around everywhere, jumping into the ocean fully clothed, or going on beautiful hikes. My mom taught me to find joy in the world around me and nature. Most of you know her diagnosis came as a shock. The doctors gave us 6 months. She gave us 5 more years. 5 years of love, strength, and laughter, beating the odds over and over again, like only she could. And even in the end, she surprised us one last time. Hospice said she had hours to a day. She gave us a full week. A final act of love, giving us time to say goodbye, time to hold her hand, and tell her how much she meant to us. She always took care of me. She went to every single one of my doctor's appointments. Every dream I chased, every hard moment, she never wavered. Even in her last breath, she protected me, and she looked out for all of us. When I was little, I used to cry in her arms after nightmares about losing her. Now that nightmare is real, but in the middle of this pain, I'm trying to do what she always did, hold my head high and live through the hurt. I know what she'd want. She'd want us to live, to be kind, to be brave, and to keep going. I have so much more I could say, but I know we all carry the truth of who my mom was in our hearts. There's a quote by Harriet Tubman that feels right for her. I go to prepare a place for you. Mama, I love you more than words can ever say. I will remember everything you taught me, and I will carry you with me always. My full name is Antonia, but my mom called me Nia. It means purpose. She gave me that name, and I've always felt a connection to the word purpose, even if I fully didn't understand why, but I do now. My mom is my purpose, and I will live by her strength, her kindness, her joy for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Nia. Talk about a tough act to follow. Okay. That was beautiful. My name is Jim Hogan, and I'm here representing myself and my wife, Maddie. We have known Wayne and Sarah for many, many years. I just want to tell a little story. I'll try to keep it brief. I know we're running late, but the first time I ever noticed Sarah, it might not have been the very first time I ever met her, but the first time I ever really thought, who is this person? We were doing a recording session for Sakarjaya, and we were in I believe it was a hall in a church or something of that sort. Anyway, we're setting up and getting ready to play, and I noticed this woman, this beautiful woman, who's running this recording session. She's setting up the microphones and she's setting the dials and all that. Oh, well, that's great. And then we get ready to play, and this woman sits down at the gamelan instrument and starts playing, fantastic music. We all know that gamelan's not easy stuff to do. Who's this woman? So I thought that was great. And then after we finished the session, we had a little picnic. The whole group went to have a picnic at, Wayne remembers this, at Lake Temescal. So I was there with Maddie and our 3 sons at the time, and we were up on a hill above the lake, and a soccer game got organized. And so people were playing, and several of our Bounties friends were there, and of course they grew up playing soccer. They were good soccer players. But there was one person out there who was just tearing it up, and that was Sarah, of course, kicking goal after goal. Poor Paxajana was playing goalie. He couldn't stop any of Sarah's shots at all. And so I thought, wow, this woman is an athlete as well. Okay, she's a recording engineer, a musician, an athlete. Well, at one point during the game, the ball got kicked into the middle of Lake Temescal. So Sarah immediately stripped down her panties, which further grabbed my attention. Jumped in the lake, swam to the middle of the lake, looking like, Michael Phelps or somebody, some Olympic swimmer. Swam back in and resumed the game. And I thought, who is this, Wonder Woman or something? That was amazing. But I just did want to add to that after that we became very close with Sarah. We were overjoyed when she married our dear, dear friend, Wayne Vitale. We were beyond delighted when they bought a home just up the street from us in El Sobrante and welcomed their amazing daughter, Nia. And they became, in a very real sense, part of our family. Over the years, our sense of awe of who Sarah was only grew. In addition to her sparkling intelligence, her many talents, her sense of humor, we came to know her huge heart, her generosity, her sensitivity, her kindness. She was truly one of the finest human beings I have ever known. We love you, Sarah. Your life will be an inspiration to all of us, always. Thank you.
I just hope Sarah is feeling this and that she knows how loved she was. I really wish she were listening. Hope she is. Hope you are, Sarah. My name is Bee Deering. My husband Tom and I met Sarah in the mid-1980s. Tom and Sarah were students together at UC Berkeley, and I met Sarah through the gamelan. There are 2 themes I want to touch on in these remarks: connections and grit or strength. First, the connections. Tom is a pianist who loves classical music and is a skilled sight reader, which makes him a great partner for chamber musicians. Sarah loved to play chamber music as both violinist and violist. Over the past more than 25 years, Sarah facilitated innumerable gatherings of musicians at our home, because that's where the piano is, to play music that they loved, everything from Bach to Bartok. So many musicians came to play in different ensemble configurations, duets, trios, quartets, and quintets, and sometimes these temporary groupings led to concerts in local venues, usually spurred on by Sarah. And it all happened because of Sarah. who was the glue and the motivator for it all. She had all the connections, knew all the musicians, and Tom and I are boundlessly grateful for the gift of ensemble music that enlivened and enriched our home and our lives. Second, strength. In the last several months of Sarah's life, as treatments failed and she suffered increasingly from the effects of the disease, especially pain, she nonetheless insisted on coming to gamelan rehearsals, no matter what. She and I frequently drove together. She wasn't supposed to drive, but she did. She wasn't driving her around. She was grumpy about Wayne preventing her, although really the doctors. And then one day she shows up driving to my house to go to rehearsal. I said, "Why are you driving?" She said, "Oh, Wayne said, go ahead." I was just amazed at her grit at that time. Her intention to maintain her identity as a musician and a gamelan member was so strong, and she insisted on showing up and spending the full 2 or 3 hours at each rehearsal. Often she was clearly in much pain, and by the end of each session she was totally spent, but she came and played without much complaint. Some members weren't even aware of how ill she was. I felt privileged to witness both her vulnerability and the strength that she displayed. My heart just cracked open in watching this and being close with her at that time. We will dearly miss Sarah's music and her spirit. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Noel, and I'm a friend of, hi friends. I'm a friend of Sarah's through music also, mainly through show work, but also we shared a vision of bringing music of the world to our children in our classrooms. And so I was involved with Sarah on many projects that did this, and so at some point, she heard me sing this song. I've been involved in music from Zimbabwe for 40 years or something like that, similar to her commitment to the gamelan. And so at some workshop, I had sung a song, a South African choral number. And so when I was at her retirement party, she asked if I would just spontaneously lead it, and I said, sure. And then she asked Wayne to ask me to sing it with you here today. So you are the singers. Welcome to the choir. Just take a minute to stretch. Yeah, you might want to stretch your legs for a minute. We've been sitting for a long time, and we will stand to sing, but you know, just give yourself a little stretch, 7th inning stretch here. And this is my friend Kelly Orphan, who's also been involved in Shona music for many, many years. We met through that. And so I just want to say the words and give you a chance to just say the words before we sing. So I'll say a bit, and I might go like this, which means listen. Doesn't mean stop, it means listen. And then when I go like this, it means it's your turn. So, here's the words. Think of me, forget me not.
Think of me, forget me not.
Remember me wherever you go.
Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours, and you are mine.
I am yours, and you are mine.
Remember me wherever you go.
Remember me wherever you go.
So, I will now teach you each part. There are 4 parts. It's a choral piece from South Africa. And just sing back to me. And then we'll add all the parts together. So here we go. Melody. Think of me, forget me not.
Think of me, forget me not.
Remember me wherever you go.
Remember me wherever you go.
I'm gonna do that whole phrase. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
All right, you got it? Now you have to pick one of those parts. But we're going to do this like really easy way. So we're going to start with the bottom. And once you come in now, you keep singing that part. Kelly's going to sing with you at least one time. And as I add parts, she's going to keep singing with you until we get all parts in. We might do a little stepping. We're going to build it. And then just watch, follow. Okay, here we go. Maybe I don't need this anymore, huh? Maybe you should. We're down there. So, bases, here we go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Repeat. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. Please forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I'll do the melody. Yeah, start with the melody. I'll start with the melody. That was too hard. All right.
I am yours.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And you are mine. It's that beautiful blue note.
Okay, we'll start from the top down. Okay, here we go. One. You know what? We can just give you your starting pitch and do your best. You know what? That's what this is. It's just what it is. And you know, and people just sing.
Yeah.
Okay. Think of me, alto. Think of me, think of me, think of Ready?
Think of me wherever you not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. Think of me, forget me not. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go. I am yours and you are mine. Remember me wherever you go.
Friends with Sarah for most of my adult life. Sierra. I'm combining Sarah and viola because Sarah played viola at my wedding. And I had the good fortune to attend her wedding ceremony in Rhode Island and meet some of the other side of the family. But the strange thing is, in spite of Sarah and I never ever living in the same place, our friendship developed over many, many years and kept going. Well, that's what I don't want to lose. Which I'll show you at the end. So our worlds naturally flowed together. We were both in Sekarjaya, but never at the same time. We never lived in the same place. But we were both music educators, both inspired by Orff Schulwerk, and we shared many, many wonderful friends. Given our passion for Balinese music and Orff music education, it made sense to both Sarah and myself that we should write a book together, a book for music teachers so they could share the beautiful music of Bali with their students. So around 2011, in fact, not around, it was 2011, Sarah took the initiative to email our friend Doug Goodkin, who had just started his pentatonic press. And I still have the email that he sent back to Sarah. He said, "Exciting, I think it will be an important book for you and Pam, and you are the perfect people to do it." Well, that was 2011, and we really didn't realize what we were getting into, in addition to teaching, raising our wonderful daughters, performing, and etc. But with Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, and also taking turns flying to each other's homes, we continued to work on the book for 15 years. When Sarah was in Ghana with Nia, we still talked to each other and worked on it. When Wayne and Sarah were in Munich performing, we still worked on the book. Wherever we were, whatever was happening, we still tried to work on the book. And then there were some big months in between. Every year, we thought we were almost finished. We presented material from the book at 2 Orff Schulwerk national conferences, one in Denver and one in Atlantic City. And we presented a full-day workshop in the BC Orff chapter. But Sarah was a wonderful friend. We shared our lives together. We talked about our jobs, our respective Orff worlds, celebrated our successes together, and shared health issues. I love Sarah's stories from her escapades in high school, and now I know more about them. And I heard a few others. What else? Her strong union support. I heard how she was traveling in Europe and lived at Shakespeare and Company for a couple of weeks, slept there. But she made our 15 years of working on the book a real pleasure, and one that I never stopped looking forward to. I am grateful to Wayne and Nia for all the time I took from you working with Sarah, and I'm grateful to so many people who have helped us along the way with that book. Sarah, thank you for your commitment to the book, your energy, your passion, your wisdom, your positive outlook. I will finish the book, and I want you to know that. A few years ago, I want to share with you, in one of our months of doldrum, Sarah sent me a note, and this is how she sent it. You probably can't see it, but the photos are of Balinese shadow puppets. One is Twalin, and this one is Merda, his son. And Sarah wrote these words. I think I want to read Merda first. Yeah, but remember, we're making progress. And Twalin, the ever-wise one, said, Da, where are you? The writing is not yet finished. The story goes on forever.
Okay. Hello, beautiful and beloved community of Sarah's friends and family. I'm Kate Bedall. I'm the last speaker of the day, and it's going to be short. I've lived on the East Coast for the last 25 years, but Sarah remains a shining star in the firmament of my friends. I was privileged to be a member of Sekar Jaya for 10 years in the 1990s. And I'd like to share a poem that I've written for you, and in a way it kind of sums up what we've been doing here today. It's called Lessons for Our Daughters. And both of our daughters are here today, by the way. For Sarah. In the end, the best things are the friends who help to sew the tapestries of our lives. Go back and cherish again the sound of their laughter, sly jokes, shared fears. Gather again their presence at your seminal moments. Savor again the simple days when the beauty of the world was magnified by their companionship. The walk down the beach or up the hill, under the splendid sky, talking of love or work or music, of struggles or hope. These are the golden threads stitching lives together, making them lives well lived.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patty, and I had the pleasure of knowing and playing music with Sarah for many years, as many of you did. And I'd just like to introduce our last musical offering for today. This is a piece for Balinese Gindar Wayang Quartet, which was big part of Sarah's musical life, and will be played by 4 musicians here who also knew and played with her for many years: Carla, Paul, Lisa, and Emily. And they'll be playing a special piece called Masum. It's a traditional piece used in the Balinese shadow play to accompany refined characters in sad scenes. And this version is from the village of Sukawati, where Sarah studied and played Gindar Wayang. It was Sarah's request, as with many of the other pieces today, that we play Masum for this occasion. And it was really a parting gift, bringing together these folks to relearn this music. And they are blessed to be here to be able to play it for you and for Sarah and her memory.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for sharing and for just being here. It's interesting that Sarah requested that Forget Me Not song. I mean, it's so undeniable that we will all be bringing her forward, carrying her forward. How could you ever forget Sarah? Carrying her forward in the notes we play and the hills we walk and our acts of courage and generosity and our acts of, being together, really. So let's take one more moment of silence before I go over some logistics and just let everything land from today. Just letting Sarah kind of fill you up, fill your heart. So now logistics are, as I think Nia mentioned, I think all of us here probably could have spent the 2 hours, each one of us, talking about Sarah. So we are happy to come together again at Cordonices Park. The Hogans have very generously ordered some food and drinks for us. And yay, Hogans! And thank you again also to everyone who's helped put this together and your presence as well. We have a very short loadout time. So if you aren't actively loading anything out, please go fairly directly to outside the gate. You can go back to the botanical gardens if you don't want to go directly to Cordonices, or if you're going to be chatting, please do so outside of a thoroughfare. Anything else that I'm forgetting? No? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry. One more thing here is, as we are exiting, we will be playing a Lalambatan piece from Patmade Arnawa's group, I believe. Ish. Wayne, do you want to say anything about this piece, or that's plenty? We will just be carried out by a Lalambatan, a very special piece that Wayne has selected for us.
Any help? Okay. I'll see you outside.
Okay.
Okay.